Hello, it is I, Sir Devon and Kang, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to try and do. So, a while ago, I made a prediction video on how the next step season 8 is going to go. And today I'm going to try and predict it again, but this time with logic and without Kenny Omega. So, if any of you saw the last one, you know that I mentioned Kenny Omega, and it would have been. Yeah, I think a lot of people would have thought it would be controversial to have a wrestler on a dance show. So here I'm going to try and predict how the eighth season is going to be with logic this time. And I also want to say that, of course, the last one did upset the fandom, I think. And I think a lot of people must have thought, what's this madman doing? So how this will work, so I'll try and predict what happens to each of the characters via a story perspective, and I'll try and predict who the new characters are and their personal backgrounds, so why they dance at the next step. So we have our A troop, so Ozzy, Heath, Presley, Rochelle, Summer, Eobard, Holly, Kingston, and Maya. B troopers, Winnie, Izzy, Tallulah, Liv, Devon, Jude, Cleo, Ethan, and Marcus. And so Amy, Piper, Finn, and Henry would leave because it's been their time to win a competition, but they'd leave in the 5th episode after passing the torch to the newer dancers. Amy and Henry would start their own dance studio, and Piper would become a scientist and move in with Finn. The reason behind this is I would cast Tom Cavanagh as James and Piper's father. And obviously, for those who watch The Flash, Tom Cavanagh played a scientist. And I think also because I know Amy's not won anything, neither at her time at TNS, which really should have happened. I think Piper has sort of been the centre of attention, and she needs to do her own thing. So then Lily and Kenzie, I think, would also leave TNS because they're going to audition for the next season of Dance Mania, as said in the What If timeline. So now this is going to go very differently. So they won Dance Mania together and not fight over a broken shoe. So the events leading up to this, though, will be difficult because Kingston will try and stop Kenzie and Lily from leaving. This forces Lily to break up for Kingston for good. I hated Lilston. They weren't. Why do they have to decide? Why can't they decide if they're together or not? Like, what's the point in that? When you're in a relationship, you make a decision. You don't suddenly decide, oh, one day I'm going to blow up I'm going to blow up Alderaan, and the next day I'm not. I'm going to bring back Alderaan. So, uh, so the new characters. So Jessica, Holly, Liv, Tallulah, or Tally for short. That's actually now named after Tali'Zorah from the Mass Effect universe. Then Devon and Eobard. Yeah, that's a Flash reference there. Eobard Thorne. Sadly, it won't be Matt Lester. And then, Summer on this will be in both sides of the conflict as she was in B Troop and A Troop. She will be so confused and conflicted over what to do. Summer's interested in Devon, but Devon isn't looking for love. Summer asks Amy about being rejected, and Amy tells her to accept his wishes and is told him by jabbing Eobard that they are professionals and they can't let feelings overcome the objective. Winnie. So Winnie develops a lot in this series. She's angry with Summer for going on to A Troop and wanting B Troop to go to Nationals. She gets quite competitive about it and sabotages A Troop's chances. However, just before the trap is sprung, Grace finds out and informs Nick. Nick tells Winnie off and informs Winnie that if you want to go to nationals, then she has to be fair to others. So Grace will leave as well to go on Emily and Michelle's tour at this point. Then Izzy. So Izzy will develop feelings for Heath. She does this when Heath joins the Warhammer 40k like club. He has an army of mini versions of the Death Corps of Craig. So basically, think World War One soldiers, but living in a literal hell. Warhammer 40k is hell. It's in the title Warhammer. So after hours of waiting, Izzy tells Heath that she has feelings for him. However, Izzy also tells Heath that she is on the autistic spectrum. She didn't tell anyone because she was too scared about getting bullied for being autistic. Heath comes to the realization that he must let go of his hatred for Ozzy. Heath and Ozzy then reconcile. Holly likes sci-fi. Fact, sister is actually Heather. So Polly is living in a flat. Holly is living in a flat with Josh, Zara, and Heather. Make a spin-off about this, please. Make it a sitcom. She also works as a pro wrestler for a local company to earn money. This will risk her dance career, but in the end she chooses dance as there are not as many risks. Then Presley. So Presley doesn't like Rochelle. She competes with her to be dance captain. Presley wins the dance captain spot and asks Rochelle to be her co-captain, or commander if we're talking Starfleet ranks. So captain is above commander. Rochelle and Presley disagree on a few things, and therefore Presley demotes Rochelle. Rochelle thinks she should be dance captain. Nick tells them both to get it together, and so he makes Rochelle the dance captain. Presley is angered by this, but looks back on Rochelle's time at TNS and how far she's got before now. She also reads a note from a former dancer. It reads, sorry for my bad spelling, only because I'm a quick typer, so I don't have as much thinking time. And I'm also going to have an accent here. Rochelle, I think, has feelings for Noah. She's a good friend and all, but Noah's with me and she's got to accept that. Was it really true love? Noah's afraid to ask me out, and I want to be with him, but it's just not going to work out. Oh, to hell with it, I'm just not ready for love. Rochelle is better than me in every way. She deserves to be him more than I do. Anyway, I'll just sign off now, hoping that me telling Noah how I feel will change my life for the better. I just hope it wasn't all for nothing. And also, after reading the note, she shows it to Rochelle. Rochelle reconciles with Presley and the two become great friends. However, both wonder who wrote the note. Rochelle says it's someone long forgotten. Now we have Eobard. So Eobard became a dancer to escape his past as a TikTok addict. Eobard saw how good they were and wanted to join in. However, he also saw the toxic side of it. He wanted to stop looking at TikTok altogether, but wanted to dance as well. He at first was worried about his lack of dance experience and where it would get him. He would develop feelings for Presley after talking to her about the dance. Devon. So Devon wants to be a theatre actor and will use the next step as a starting point. Also, he's a train enthusiast and takes A and B troop to a model rail exhibition. Oh boy. I think Presley's gonna love this. Then Jessica. So Jessica's a sci-fi nerd and cosplayer. She, like Holly, likes to go to a Comic Con. Both troops are dragged along to Comic Con all in cosplay. Most of them are in Stormtrooper armor, others in Star Trek uniforms, and Heath is a Space Marine from Warhammer, and Nick is Doctor Who. And I just said that as the thing hit 11:11. Is Miles Dobson going to be Doctor Who by the end of this? Oh my god, if he's going to be the next Doctor. But anywho, although I do have to say, you're going to have to wrestle me for the role of the Doctor. But it's that I only put this because it's the Star Wars v Star Trek thing. And then Warhammer's just in the middle obliterating it all, saying, haha, 40k beats everything for the Emperor. Then we have Maya. So Maya joins A Troop as she wants to go to Nationals and leaves B Troop without a word. B Troop aren't happy about this, so they try and convince her to go back to them. Maya disagrees. B Troop are left wondering if they'll ever go to Nationals or not. So we decide to go to Nationals, so both troops have an elimination dance-off. Both teams are neck and neck until all but Rochelle and Tallulah remain. Rochelle wins the match, meaning that A Troop go to Nationals. Troop. Sorry. B Troop, however, will get their own dance competitions to go to. So after B Troop lose the dance elimination match, Ethan becomes dance captain and asks Nick to get B Troop to a dance competition. They find one for junior troops and dancers their age. So B Troop go to a dance competition and compete against a new studio called Cerberus. Cerberus competes against B Troop. Liv's father shows up to support her. After the dance, Liv gets emotional and the winners are announced. And the winners will be B Troop. So Nationals is where TNS will compete against Damien Henry's new studio called the Grey Knights of Dance. Yes, that is in reference to a Space Marine chapter. So Amy argues that she hasn't won anything at her time at TNS, so now is her time. However, Lucian shows up with the new dance studio and teams up with Angela. All three studios battle it out in the end. But the winners are not B Troop. I knew that was going to come up. Sorry. B Troop was going to win the other competition. Ignore that. Just as a joke. John Cena! Do, 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 do. Ba, da, da, da. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Sorry about that, folks. The Grey Knights of Dance. Amy goes to Nick and tells them, thank you for getting our careers started. TNS are disappointed, but Nick tells them everyone has their own time. Rochelle says that Amy should have won regionals years ago, but she didn't. They earned it. Michelle, Emily, and Eldon walk in, and generations of TNS dancers all come in all stand together side by side. They talk about how the past and how TNS started their dance careers. Miss Kate and Chris also turn up with Wes by their side. They all stand together, and the final dance is TNS 3 Generations. Well, that was a pretty rough ride, wasn't it? Sorry about all the mistakes that I made. I didn't know. I rush at a lot of things, so it's not perfect. It's a bit rushed, so I apologise for that. What did you think of my predictions? Do you like any of them? Do you like any of my storylines? But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. See you all in the next one. So goodbye and good night.